All right, welcome all. Go ahead and get started here with a couple of announcements. First up, next weekend, we have a day-long virtual retreat running from 9 to 4 Eastern time. That's June 10th. I'll pop the registration in for this event, but check that out. It's a great chance to deepen your practice and devote some, more than just our hour here for town hall to spending time as a Sangha and with Lama. So really looking forward to that. And let me share on a couple of other events as well. Maybe not. Here we go. So a couple other things to keep in mind. A couple of I can teach anyone to meditate pop-up meditation drop-ins on June 17th and June 24th. And then Lama doing a little book reading and storytelling associated with Awakening the Book, Awakening the Buddha Within on July 22nd. So really looking forward to that as well. And without further ado, let me turn it over to our Lama.
Okay, zooming in, soaring and swooping. Okay, I'll stop being silly. I see some sincere, if not serious, people here. Look, there's Fiona, Bob Schmidt, Joanne. Beautiful. Nice to see you all. Happy Sakadawa. In case you don't know, the Tibetan calendar recognizes today as the full moon. It's often in May. It happens to be whatever it is today, June 4th or something, in the Gregorian Western calendar. In the Tibetan lunar calendar, in Vajrayana Himalayan Buddhism, today is the day of, get this, for synchronicity, Buddha's enlightenment, birth, and death. So I don't know how Buddha arranged that. He must have been very organized, or else the Tibetan historians are. Anyway, these things come from ancient times and oral cultures. So today's the day we celebrate it in Himalayan Buddhism. I think in Southern Buddhism, like Sri Lanka, Thailand, Vietnam, Burma, Cambodia, etc., Buddha's Enlightenment Day is celebrated on the full moon, Wesak full moon. And the other days, I can't remember. And Sakadawa is one of the four great Buddhist holidays of the Tibetan Buddhist calendar. And it's said that this miracle month, or this month, the Wesak full moon month, usually called the full moon, the month of May, it's said that if you, well, let me put it the way Lamas like to say it, if you practice your practices, your spiritual practices, your good deeds, your generous givings, your positive intentions and aspirations will be multiplied thousands and thousands of times in benefits, merits, good fortune. Of course, considering karma, that also means that your unwholesome actions and thoughts and intentions might also be multiplied many times. So let's cleave to the high ground to the extent we can without being too dualistic about it all. Sakadawa is a great holiday. A lot of people make offerings and recite millions of mantras or get together as a group and each recite prayers and mantras which they count with their mala beads. Like I have 108 beads on this mala. So you count 100 each time you go around. And then the group adds them all up together to get huge numbers that then the whole community rejoices in. Or else they make voluminous offerings to those worthy of being offered to. Holy people, what we would call charities, nonprofits, spiritual centers, monasteries, nunneries, infirmaries, hospitals, etc. A little story. Zakilung Rinpoche, a Tuku Rinpoche who lives on an island off Seattle, I forget which one, Bainbridge or Whidbey, and has his center there, as well as his monastery in China. He told us that when local people, he helped them build a bridge to go over a river that they had trouble crossing, and so on, in the poor backward wilderness of eastern Tibet, very western China, a little bit away from the Chinese cadres and bureaucracy. That when they completed the bridge building that was so important to the region and had been wanted and looked for 50 or 100 years or more. The day that Zakilung inaugurated it and it was completed, there was a rainbow. And people said, "Oh, why is there a rainbow? It must be because Rinpoche is here, Rinpoche is here, Rinpoche is here, our Rinpoche, our reincarnate Lama Abbot, head master is here." And he is a wonderful Lama. Anyway, and he's married to a Chinese woman, they have kids, and live on one of those islands off Seattle, as I mentioned. I happened to be there for their inauguration. I was invited some decade ago. Anyway, the day the bridge was completed, there was a rainbow, and everybody said, "Rinpoche, Rinpoche, Rinpoche must be here. Rinpoche's here. What a blessing." And Rinpoche said, "It's a sign of spiritual accomplishment, not mine, but the community's building a bridge that serves others, that saves lives, that helps, commerce, the economy, the families meet, and so on." And people said, "But how is building a spiritual activity?" And he said, "How is it not? Whatever benefits beings. Didn't Buddha himself say, when I am gone, rely on the Dharma, rely on the Sangha, rely on good deeds, helpful actions, and the paramitas, the virtues, of course, of which generosity, dana paramita, is the first." So I thought that was an inspiring story. And also, being a Dzogchen master, he really has a big picture, overview, deep view of the oneness, the unity and diversity, of the wholeness of one taste, all equal. So, of course, building a bridge in a place like that is a great and virtuous thing, like building a school, or monastery, nunnery, infirmary, whatever, good deeds. The Japanese poet called it building Buddha Amitabha's Pure Land, paradise, one brick at a time. I like that. Even in this life, we can be building that. We don't have to wait till we die and go to Amitabha's paradise or Pure Land in the Western Pure Land of the setting sun, as they call it. Dewachan. Don't have to wait. Visit Pure Land of Dzogchen is here and now in Maho. So today's a happy day, a great day. I just spent the morning listening to I don't know even how to talk anymore, my old retreat buddy, Dr. John Conte in Jordan, a leader, translator, teacher, wonderful bodhisattva, doctor of the Padmakara Translation Committee in Jordan, France, giving a talk, a Dharma talk, about Prajna Paramita, which they're translating like crazy over there. The short sutra, the medium-sized sutra, the long sutra, and other sutras. One I never even heard of. I'm glad I tuned in. Old John's been keeping it from me. Not just 100,000 verses long Paramita Sutra, or the 22 verses medium, or maybe that's the short one, or the Heart Sutra, which is the essence, the Heart of Wisdom Sutra. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it if you read Buddhist things, if you study Buddhist Dharma. The Heart of Wisdom Sutra, the Vajracchedika Do, the Heart of Wisdom Sutra, not the heart, the Wisdom Heart Sutra. And John mentioned the Prajnaparamita in 10,000 lines that almost nobody seems to know about, including me. Partly because they don't have it, that nobody has found a Sanskrit original like the other root, Prajnaparamita or Transcendental Wisdom scriptures of Mahayana Buddhism. Only the Tibetan 10,000 lines, or maybe it's verses, version exists. So it's a joy to me to keep learning and studying the Dharma, to be a disciple, a student, a follower of the Buddha, and balance study and practice and bodhisattva activity or spiritual social activism. And I invite you to do the same in whatever balance or emphasis you like. It's a beautiful day. So let's begin with a moment of silence, including all in our prayers and practices, in our hearts, in our sterling aspirations and wishes, especially those in war-torn places, Ukraine, Sudan, and elsewhere. Also, those suffering at the hands of the battlefield of inner conflicts, neurosis, and worse, local, domestic, and abroad, inner and outer, for great peace, beyond noise and silence, great peace, harmony, fulfillment, rapture, great peace to be accomplished. Sarva Mangalam, may all beings be well. Peace. Love to one and all. We are the place where the light shines through it, and we are one, not two. We're needed where and as we am. We need not think, nor fear, nor plan. When we can be relaxed, authentic, and free, the higher powers will work their plan of love, harmony, light, compassion through we. Chigmaha Soadeb Chigmala Soadeb Chigmala Soadeb Kapo Mishingelo Ma po ai lab ngam pa shinke lab gesantung je pop mayam chengab banyatam sho. And in Anglesi, oh, Mother Machig, to you we pray. Ah, Mother Machig, to you we pray. Hung Prajna Pita Mother, Prajna Paramita, Wisdom Mother, Machig, to you we pray. Empower me, we through the white Om, empower we through the red Ah, empower we through the blue Hung. Transmit to we your enlightened body, speech, prana, and heart mind. May I and all of us together attain your realization of Prajna Paramita, the mother of all the Buddhas, transcendental wisdom, innate gnosis. Ho. Thank you. Way to go, friends. Buckle up. Let's go. Ah, what a relief. At last. Nothing more to do. Figure out, read, understand, learn, or achieve. What did Buddha say? I'm okay, you're okay? Something like that? All beings endowed with the luminous Buddha nature, the incorruptible, clear light, the divine spirit within and around us too. Look deeper, not just inside oneself, look deeper. That's what it means. It's all contained within. Just sitting, just breathing, just being. The Sabbath, the day of rest, let's rest in that. Let's start with just sitting, just breathing, just being. What more does one need? It could be so simple. When and if we are just sitting, natural bodies, Buddha body, Nirmanakaya, just breathing, natural breath and energy, is Buddha's breath and energy, Prana, Sambhogakaya, the great Tao, let it flow, let it go. And just being, bare awareness, bare attention, just being as is, heart and mind, natural at ease, the Dharmakaya, Namaha, Buddha mind, way to go. Namaho, Eureka, Hallelujah, Amen. Wondrous, miraculous, delightful. I love it. And just for a moment, just enjoy, just settle into, just appreciate, just savor the joy of non-meditation, the joy of being, the joy of flow, not doing it, not pushing it, not trying to hold it back or calm it down even. Bigger frame, Mahamudra, the big picture, the great gesture of awareness, open and aware, including everything. Wow. This breath, only breath, this moment, only moment, the holy now, entirely and completely present. Cultivate the arts, practice of presencing, aware, being awareful, attention, at ease, balance, and equanimity, open, aware, incandescently present. Let go and let you do it for you. bow to the Buddha in your seat. Don't overlook it. See you, Mr. Bloom. Mrs. Blue, and the others too. I see. Mind open, heart open, ears open, throat open, chest open, diaphragm open, anus open, everything open, decontracted, at ease, natural, yet aware, relaxed, yet dynamically present and aware, attentive. A delicious balance, the yin and yang of contemplation, meditation. Relaxed yet dynamically present or aware, mindful, rather mindless, incandescently present, interested. What's this? What's this? And this. Fresh, innocent, Zen beginner's mind, like a child. What's this? What's this? This. This. This moment, the only moment. Om Mogashila Sambara Sambara Bara Bara Mahashura Safa Pema Vibhushita Bunsa Dada Dada Samanta Avalokite Home Soha Sayatam Begazi Begazi Mahabagazi Raza Samagati Zo. Om Bodhi Jita Mahasugu Gyana Data Ram Ah, how sweet it is. Ah. Breathing out, letting go, letting come and go, and be with each out breath, a little death, a little relinquishing. Thich Nhat Hanh says, breathing in, I calm my mind, breathing out, relaxing, smiling. Mindfulness relaxes every bone in the body. How silly. No. Breath, only breath, this moment, only moment. Rest in the fourth fraction, the holy now, beyond past, present, future. Timeless time. Awareness alone. Open, aware, luminous, transparent, translucent, translucent. Seeing through is being through, through with it all, truly. There you go. Thank you. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samyak sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami. We take refuge and rely on the enlightened Buddha and enlightenment itself. We take refuge and rely on the sublime, liberating Dharma teachings and wisdom itself. We take refuge and rely on the noble Sangha community and communion, koinonia, harmony and communion itself, for the boundless benefit of one and all. From now until reaching perfect Buddhahood, for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception, we shall practice the 6 paramitas wholeheartedly day and night. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. We vow to transcend them. Dharma teachings are boundless. We vow to realize them. The Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. We vow to embody it. Thank you, Nathan, Kelsey, Joan, Alan, Nancy, Edward, everybody, Mel, Tara, whoever else I can't see, didn't see, I see you. Nice to be you, be with you, co-meditate, intermeditate, interbe together. Let's not forget Thich Nhat Hanh's brilliant coining of the word interbeing. Recognize interdependence, interconnection, togetherness, sharing, communion, koinonia, sacred community, beloved community, whatever we call it. It's a good time to be together, if not stick together. As a Buddhist, we don't want to be too sticky, but you know what I mean. As Buddha didn't say, divided we stand, united we sit. So go forth and multiply, add, don't divide. Sakadawa Duchen, yes, one of the 4 great holidays of the Mahayana Buddhist or Tibetan Buddhist calendar. Yes, occurs to me that in Japanese Zen, I don't know about Chinese and Korean Zen, but I lived in Japan for a year. In Japanese Zen, Buddha's Enlightened Day is around December 7th or 10th, celebrated by the Rohatsu Sesshin, the Enlightenment Day intense retreat session. Of course, there are different calendars and different ways of keeping score of what's going on, like there are different astronomical and astrological ways, even new ways of seeing the constellations now. Interesting. I'm still looking up there for Orion's belt and the Big Dipper. It seems to have been replaced by something else. Not just joking. But isn't it interesting that we can draw different patterns out of the same things? Isn't that how life is? So subjective, so changing, so evolving, if you want to look at it, hopefully. So there's also a little bit different astrological calendar. I thought I was a Capricorn with, I forget what rising, Friends rising or something, but now I find out that it's shifted a little bit and I might be in Sagittarius. Oh my God, I changed and I didn't even know. I better read up on that sign. So you never know. You got to keep your eyes peeled. You know, potatoes have eyes, but they don't see that much, I guess. We got to keep our eyes peeled. Cauliflowers have ears, but they don't seem to hear much. We got to keep our ears peeled and attentive. Every sense, all the 6 senses, and the mind is the 6th in Buddhist psychology. So, any questions, please feel free.
Questions anybody has, feel free to just chat directly to me using the chat function. We don't have any currently, Lama.
Well, just to share and to talk and to fill in time and to plant some seeds. I was thinking about my first Lama and my time in Nepal in 71, 72, and writing my memoirs and looking into, like, here's an interesting book if you like to think about tulkus and reincarnation, Reincarnate Lamas of Tibet. Here's one, The Reincarnate Lamas of the West. about 5 or 10 of them, including women ones. The boy Lama, about one of the first boy tulkus who was at our Kopan monastery in the early 70s, founded by Lama Yeshe and Lama Zopa. Very interesting. Westerner, born in the West. Lama Yeshe himself, my first Lama, was reborn in Spain, they say. The Dalai Lama has recognized him. Lama Osel, a Spanish boy. I think he's the fourth or fifth child of a Spanish couple, Lama Yeshe's disciples. Very interesting. So I'm looking into those things, I'm digging back, and I find, is there anybody here among all of you savants and spiritualati who's heard of the first Western Lama, the White Lama, Theos Bernard? Check this out from like the 1930s. What the hell? Google it. Interesting. People have been doing this for a long time and a lot longer than 100 years, as we know. But isn't it interesting? So, as we say in Tibet, with a Lama here and a Lama there, here a Lama, there a Lama, everywhere a Lama, old Big Dharma has a farm, Imaho. And on that farm he has some Dharma, Imaho. No questions today? You're at the risk here. I might keep singing.
We do have a question, Lama, not
Hey,
to
Nathan.
break
Thank
up the
you.
singing at all,
No,
but
you want to stop me.
I hate to do it, but
Come on.
no, we have a question that says, would you talk about practicing as if we're already in the Pure Land?
Oh, that's so easy. Just sitting, just breathing, just being is one way. Sitting, natural body is Buddha body. I've said it many times. Natural breath is Buddha's breath. Natural heart mind is Buddha's heart mind. Of course, that's a little too simple for us. We're a little more complex. But that's like Dzogchen or Zen, like sitting Buddha is being Buddha, as Suzuki Roshi said, just to quote chapter and verse. Sitting Zazen is sitting Buddha. That means you. Duh. But more specifically, since you asked about the Pure Land, a subject near to my heart, not that I talk about it a lot because a little bit of Buddhist theology, paradise, theory, beliefs, mythology. Why would we want to be reborn in the Pure Land? I asked the great lamas. They said, because it's off the wheel of samsara and we get to enlighten quicker. So I share that with you. I could easily make a Dharma talk out of that, but I don't know much about that. That's very interesting. That's the teaching. So there's different Pure Lands, west, north, south, and central. And then there's the Pure Land of Dzogchen, which is here now. Kutuzampo's Pure Land. Anyway, how we practice being in the Pure Land while we're practicing. So one way is according to the Pure Land schools, chanting a Buddha of Pure Land, Amitabha Buddha, the red Buddha of the West, it's mantra. I'm thinking which language I'm going to burp it out. Om Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu in Japan, where the Pure Land school is ascendant. The Nichiren Shoshu, the Pure Land School, the Soka Gakkai, called in America NGI, I forget what that means, something. Tina Turner, Herbie Hancock, members, very popular. The chanting Buddhists, the chant Namo, Namo To. Got to get the right language here, they're conflicting in my mind. Yeah. Namo Toho Renge Kyo. Namo Toho Renge Kyo. I think that's it. That's homage to the Buddha Amitabha and the Lotus Sutra. So that's a like simplified. You might think, and I don't know exactly who's asking. I'm talking to all of us here and thinking aloud. You might think Zen is the main form of Buddhism in Japan, or even that Zen, Japan is a Buddhist country or Zen country. It's not really, but Zen is important there and in China and elsewhere. Pure Land Buddhism is the main form of Buddhism there, and Shinto is the natural religion, the indigenous religion of Japan that worships the sun goddess, let's say, of whom the emperor and empress are supposed to be incarnations or emanations. So in the Pure Land school, just by chanting Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, that's it. I got it. Thank you. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. That's all you have to do to be reborn in the Pure Land. That's a little simple for us modern, educated, dare I say, overeducated thinkers. But that's why it's so popular in Japan. Everybody for the last 1,000 years likes that way of thinking. Some think if you chant that when you die, then you'll be reborn in Amitabha Buddha's heart in the Western Pure Land. Some think it will happen during this lifetime or in your dreams. Anyway, if you just chant the mantra, and let's go back to what else is going on, just sitting, you don't have to be sitting, just being. That's all you have to do. Isn't that great? That may not be for you or me, but it works well enough. It's the Lotus Sutra school. It's not Tibetan Buddhism exactly. When I asked the great incarnation of Amitabha Buddha, Sharma Rinpoche, Karmapa's #1 spiritual son, an incarnation of Amitabha Buddha, he said, that's fine, but we think it takes 4 things to be reborn in the Pure Land then or now, not just chanting the mantra, but also your state of mind or the visualization, your intention, things like that. For us now, like bearing down on the present moment, I think this practice of 100% doing what you're doing and being what you are is the Pure Land. If you're chanting Om Mani Padme Hum, that is like Avalokiteshvara, the Buddha of love and compassion, coming through you, using so you could like offer your lips, your tongue, your throat, your heart, your body, your breath, your energy, your intention, your aspiration. That's Avalokiteshvara Buddha, alive and here and now. So that's how you get closer. And of course, I'm giving you a somewhat non-dualistic explanation of how to practice in the Pure Land, which is what you asked, not just how to be reborn in the Pure Land after death, as most of the people in the Pure Land school, for example, in Japan, believe. It's a very interesting subject. I love that tradition. I studied it in Japan. The seminal book about it is called Buddhism, Christian, and Zen, Christian, and Buddhist by D.T. Suzuki, comparing the Savior, Jesus' belief in faith with the Pure Land Buddhist belief in this kind of faith practice, which is not entirely our general Buddhist way, which relies more on actualization or practice than on faith. Maybe it's called Mysticism, Christian and Buddhist by D.T. Suzuki, brilliant master who knows these things. Any other questions?
Our only question currently, Lama. We got a couple minutes here left. If you have any final thoughts and words of wisdom for us.
I don't know about words of wisdom, but I like to I'm kind of the question man rather than the answer man. I wonder often what keeps us from it, to talk in the language of the questioner at the moment. What keeps us from the Pure Land right now? What is the Pure Land? Paradise, nirvanic consciousness. Where is it? Is it in the West and not in the East? Or not everywhere and nowhere? Look at the word no hair, no hair. No, that's only some of us. Look at the word nowhere. That's more all of us. Now here. There's a little punny koan for you. No self, yet very present and awake. There's a little koan for you of now here, nowhere. Seeds.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Lama, for those wonderful seeds and for your time today. And thanks to everyone for joining us here. I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you, Nathan. Lama, all of you. Nice to get together. Be well. Love to one and all.